Let's go back to the state of security in the country. We're live at the police headquarters here in Accra, where ACP David Aklu, who is the Director of Public Affairs, will be engaging us quickly on some tips that the police has put together that could help keep us safe. ACP Aklu, thank you very much for your time this afternoon. I trust that you're well. Now you have some tips to share with Ghanaians as to how we can stay safe. After keeping safe from Lassa fever, we have the armed robbers to keep ourselves safe from as well. Please help us.
Yeah, thank you very much, Gifty. As you know, in addition to law enforcement, we have been calling on the public to also support us and also up their security consciousness level. If you look at some of the crimes that we have been experiencing, we based on our analysis of the situation, we think that if people constantly keep security in mind and practice it, both at home, at the workplace, and whilst out in the streets, it will help us a lot, because there are three elements of crime prevention: the target, the environment, and the opportunity. So if we are able to take some of these steps seriously, it will enhance our personal security and also support the ongoing efforts by the police to ensure public security. Now, let me just announce this, because we are going to...
Right, please go ahead with the tips.
Yes, number one is that if you are operating a business that involves handling cash, because most of the targets are cash, flat screen television sets, and some electronic gadgets that the criminals would get and go and sell. So if you are operating a business that involves handling cash, avoid routines such as on a particular day of the week or the month you take cash to the bank. You can get police assistance, or if that is not possible, you can vary your routine, your routes, your timings, because most of this information can be linked to meet criminals from insiders. In the case of attack, a robbery attack, in the sense of somebody forcibly trying to take your possession, the best advice is that do not resist or try to protect your valuables. Just give them away. The possibility of us recovering those valuables and then arresting those people are very high. One of the things that we have all observed, especially in robberies that have happened around OEB, is that most of the criminals use cement blocks, sharp objects and metals to break into people's rooms. So please make sure that if you have these objects, keep them away, keep them out of view, and put them in safe locations. You don't leave them around your compound, because if the criminals enter, those are the objects that they will use to break into your rooms. Also, this advice also goes to mobile money vendors, because that is also one of the targets of late. If you're operating such a venture, please carefully choose your location and have security as your top consideration. Not the money that you get, but your security is also very important. It is important you choose your location, the timing, when you close, and also customers who lurk around your business premises. Always have the police emergency number at hand, and also get in touch with the police for advice. Also be mindful that in residential or highway robberies, the robbers or the criminals don't operate alone. There is always somebody lurking around. So be very mindful that you are not dealing with only one person, but there are others who are lurking around to give him support. If you are going to bed at home, especially in the night, it is advisable that you put out your inside light, you put off your inside light and close your curtains at night. Most robberies that we have observed, especially residential ones, do not happen by chance. The criminals choose their targets carefully. Either you have withdrawn money from the bank, you have returned from a field trip, some items that have been bribes to the criminals. So there is always a prior information about your activity, your vulnerability before the robbers strike. It is also advisable, if you can afford, that in answering doorbells, try and construct a peep window on the door, so that if you are not very sure, at least it will give you an opportunity to view who is at the door. Do not just open your door, and please train and advise your children. Try and get a peep window or a safe place where you can view the outside perimeter of your premises. About the identity, don't open the door at once. Mostly, children always rush to go and open doors when strangers knock. Please train your children to be security conscious. The other important factor is that good neighborliness is a key to community security.
It appears that the feed is frozen at the moment, but I can take you through what he's been saying quickly. These are tips that they put together, come together as police service, hoping to share with the public so you can keep safe. If you're into a business that involves cash, television sets, electronics, these are the things that they've realized that the armed robbers are targeting. They're asking you to avoid routines, like when you go for money, at what point and where you take that money. Avoid the routine, or try and change or vary the routine every now and then. They're also asking you to get police assistance if you do have this routine. Secondly, in case of attacks, they're advising you not to resist or try to protect your valuables, because if you try to do that, they end up killing you. And that's seems to have been what happened in yesterday's armed robbery case. They're saying that let them take it, because there is a possibility for the police to be able to recover your valuables. So, number one, if you are into any business that involves money, avoid routines, get police assistance. Number two, in case of any attack, do not resist or do not try to protect your valuables. Number three, if you have cement blocks or sharp metals, sharp objects hanging around or just lying around in your compound, you should try and keep them away, because they found that these are some of the items that come in handy to the robbers anytime they come to steal. Number four, for mobile money vendors, be security conscious, be extra security conscious, have police emergency numbers at hand, and for those who are for residential purposes, put off your inside light or the light in your bedroom when you're going to sleep. Close your curtains. Make sure you close your curtains, because they found out that most residential attacks are not coincidental. They're usually information from insiders. They're saying that they're targeting people who have either just withdrawn monies from the banks, or persons who are close to anybody who may have leaked information to the persons who come to rob you. Use your peek window before you open your door to anybody who comes in to knock, and as much as possible, keep your children away from the door, because they try to open the doors first, or they try to open the door quickly. Keep them away from that. Whilst we're at it, there's a press release that's just coming in from the Ghana Police Service, and it says changes in command positions in the Ghana Police Service. So here is some kind of reshuffle within the Ghana Police Service. Now, the Inspector General of Police has made changes in the command structure of the Ghana Police Service as follows. Hopefully, I'll be able to go through this, quite a long list. It says 1, COP Dr. George Akuffo Dampare, who is the Director General of Operations, is now Director General of Research and Planning. COP Christian Teteyonu, who is the Director General of Special Duties, is now the Director General of Police Intelligence. Let's go over to the police headquarters quickly. ACP David Eklu is back on the line. Let's finish up with the tips that he was providing us. ACP, we lost you briefly. Finish up with us, please.
Yes, thank you very much.
So we left off at the point where you said people should look out peak windows before they open up their doors.
Exactly. And we are also saying that good neighborliness, having your neighbors have your contact number and the police emergency number, which is 191-18555, is also very important. Because in the event of an attack, it is very difficult for the victim to call for assistance. But somebody who is watching or witnessing or at a safe location can call the police on your behalf. And also, one other key factor is that we have noticed that most of the robberies that happen, the target objects are flat screen television sets, mobile phones, tablets, laptops, and other electronic gadgets that people can get and steal and sell. So please get the habit of marking them. Engrave an identification mark on your flat screen television, your laptop, your iPad, your tablet, and for the phone, there is a system of getting the phone's identification number. It is called IMEI. There's a system. Get that number and put it somewhere. It is possible that if your phone is stolen, that can be immobilized and the person cannot use the phone again. Please, we'll be coming out with further security tips as we've been doing. You can get us on our Facebook, Ghana Police Service, our Twitter at Ghana Police Service, and our Ghana Police website, www.ghanapolice.gh. Thank you very much.
Okay, ACP David Eklu there. ACP David Eklu is...
Hello?
ACP David Eklu is the Director
Can
General in charge of Public Affairs. Yes, sir, I can hear you. We're just learning of some major changes in the police service. Are you able to run us through?
There have been some changes in the Ghana Police Service among the top positions at the Director General. That's
okay, we've lost ACP David Eklu there. I'll go through the press statement that we have here. Breaking news coming in from the police service. As I indicated, there's been some major changes in the police command positions in the positions in the Ghana Police Service, and the IGP David Asante Apietu has just made some changes. We'll be taking you through those changes. Latif Idris joins me now. Latif, take us through the details.
Yeah, so we've seen some major changes, and this is coming on the back of the number of armed robbery incidents recorded over the last few weeks. Let's start from the top. We have COP Dr. George Akuffo Dampare, who was the Director General in charge of operation, is now the Director General Research and Planning. So he's been moved to the Research and Planning units of the Ghana Police Service. Then second, we have COP Christian Tete Yohuno, Director General Special Duties, is now the Director General Police Intelligence. COP Reverend David Nenyi Ampabenin, the Central Regional Commander, is now the Director General Special Duties at the Ghana Police Service. Then we have DCOP Mr. George Tufo, who was the Tema Regional Commander. He is now been moved and is now the Volta Regional Commander. DCOP Mr. Simon Apeku, Eastern Regional Commander, has now been moved and is now the Director General Operations at the headquarters of the Ghana Police Service. Then DCOP Mr. Paul Manley Awuni, Director General Private Security Operations, has now been moved and is now the Central Regional Commander. Then we move to DCOP Mr. Alphonse Edu Amankwa, commander in charge of Central Motor Traffic and Transport Unit, MTTU, Accra region, has now been moved and is now the regional commander, Eastern region. Then we have DCOP Nana Asoma Hine, Volta regional commander, is now the Tema regional commander. We have ACP Mr. Anderson Fosu Aka, commandant of the police academy, is now commander in charge of the Central Motor Traffic and Transport Unit, MTTU, Accra region. We also have ACP Dr. Saibu Pabi Garibu, Police Intelligence and Professional Standards Bureau, PIPS. He is now the Director of National Operations. And then ACP Mr. Eric Wimfo, National Operations, is now transferred to the Project Unit Police Headquarters. The police administration requests the usual support of the public in the discharge of duties of these commanders and all other police officers. Gifty.
Latif, thank you very much for that update. Latif Idris there, taking us through what the changes are at the Ghana Police Service. ACP David Eklu is still with us. Let's quickly get this, a quick reaction from him. In fact, you signed this. ACP, this is coming right from you. Does it take immediate effect?
Yes, as per the message from the IG's office, it takes immediate effect.
So as we speak, you could say that the persons we've mentioned here are moving places as we speak.
Yes, but it might take maybe a while because some are coming from outside Accra to the headquarters. Others are moving from the headquarters to other places. So it might take a week for all of them to be in position. But technically speaking, these changes take immediate effect.
Does the IGP and the entire police service expect that this will make any positive impact on the situation we have at hand at the moment?
Yeah, this is not the first time that changes have taken place based on some operational exigencies, and it is expectation that these officers would also make further impact. But they have already been doing tremendous work, and they are also going to bring their experiences to bear in these new positions that they are moving to.
If you say that way, I'm compelled to find out whether or not this is a routine shake-up or this is a shake-up as a result of the increasing armed robbery, brazen armed robbery, daylight robberies that we're seeing.
It is to ensure effective management in our operations and administrations.
So is this the normal changes? Is this a normal reshuffle, police service reshuffle, or is this being done because of the peculiar situation we're dealing with?
And this, I indicated, is not the first time we have had these changes. So it is a normal reshuffle that we are doing. Okay. That the Inspector General of Police is doing. Yeah.
ACP David Eklu, thank you very much for your time and thank you very much for your responsiveness to us. As and when we have any further questions, we'll be coming to you. So you're still watching The Pulse with me, Gifty and Dampare. A whole lot of things have been happening within the very short period. We'll be going to Parliament to find out what the responses are from there. But just the latest information is massive changes in the police service, massive reshuffle in the police service. ACP Eklu says it is not as a result of the situation at hand. It is a normal routine. But let me quickly go through also for you what the Information Ministry is saying about the situation. Number one, Operation Calm Lives is going to be enhanced with immediate effect. Number two, there's going to be heavy military and police presence, and it's going to start from today. So you should be expecting to see a lot of police and military personnel in town today, and there's going to be surgical operations that's flushing out criminals. Do not panic. The information says do not be nervous. They're just there to do their jobs and to cause you no harm. There's going to be enhanced surveillance for financial service operators, and they are directing financial service operators, banks, small scale loan operators, etc., to install CCTV cameras on their premises, and ensure that they get this information in the National Operational Command Center. They're directing the Energy Ministry to accelerate lighting programs so that the country is well lit. And they are asking you to report people who are illegally using sirens on their vehicles. So, bring you more in our subsequent bulletins. Well, let's wrap up with a conversation with Adam Bona. He's a security expert. Sir, thank you very much for your time this afternoon. We're seeing a whole lot of things happening. The Information Ministry has come out with a 7-point strategy that we'll be following to keep safe. The police has made some major reshuffle that we're just seeing. We just broke the news right now. What does this look to you like? Does it look like a solution once and for all to the problem we're facing?
Well, I wouldn't say this is a solution to the bigger problem. I would say it's an interim program, so an interim measure to curb the spate of crimes that we have had over the last 2 to 3 weeks. It's refreshing to note that the IGP and the Minister of the Interior, the Vice President, who is the Chairman of the Police Council, they've taken a swift decision to do changes at the operational level. The problem we have had has to do with probably our inability to investigate these people, put intelligence officers on the ground to ensure that before these guys strike, we are able to pick them up. So if you look at the list, we have Simon Akuffo, who is coming in. Knowing him, I believe he should be able to deal with these criminal elements, hit them hard. And also, it is significant noting that Yohonu, COP Yohonu, I've known him for some time. Is someone who is meticulous. Being put in charge of intelligence. It tells you that, just like I said yesterday on your network, the situation is not hopeless. If the police wants to work, they will work. So this is a sign that this issue of criminal elements hitting us is going. We are likely to see a reduction if this list is anything to go by. And so it is refreshing to see the changes that have been done. And I believe it is in the interest of Ghanaians, and so let's support what the police is doing. And when they don't do it right, we should hit them. I think we should continue to support them. The IG and all his people, Minister of the Interior, I think it's been very, very hot for everyone in this country. You get up today and there is this here, there is that here, and so having this means that the criminals, I believe, would take some leave, and if they don't, I believe the police would go after them. They will catch them.
If it took just a reshuffle, if it took just changes in the leadership of the police to get the problem solved, why did we have to wait till what has happened
all over the world when you are dealing with issues of security? I mean, if you are dealing with issues of broader security like the Americans will do, or the Brits will do, or the Germans will do, in situations like that, to reassure the public. I mean, you just don't get up and do reshuffle. You have to, there should be some evidence, there should be some information.
But I'm just speaking to the head of public affairs, and he tells me it is a normal, it's a routine. These are routine changes, not really because of what has happened.
Well, I'm not a police officer. I don't speak for the police administration. What I can say is that, I wouldn't want to say what he's saying is not true. But what I can say is that this effort should be partly towards dealing with the crime situation we seems to have at the moment at hand. And so I wouldn't dispute what the PRO of the Ghana, the Director General, said. But then I want to also say that the situation we have had has been a very delicate one. And so we some of us, who know the in and out of how security and policing is supposed to be, would say this is the way to deal with it. This is the way to deal with a situation like this. And it is done everywhere. In developed countries, it is done. Maybe in Africa, no. But then it is important to note that we are also learning from the developed world, where in situations like that, you need to reshuffle to bring back confidence in the people, boost the morale of the rank and file of the police officers and the security agents. You've got to do this. If you don't do this, then of course you are not dealing with the situation.
Right.
So that is what I can say.
Sir, thank you very much for your analysis with that. Adam Bona is a security expert there helping us with a bit of analysis. He believes that this is the way to go and that this will instill public confidence in the police service once again as we look to deal with this trend of armed robbery attacks.